Issues with payment processors have been severely damaging our entertainment, whether it is Steam, itch.io, or even anime platforms. Unfortunately, content is going to be heavily regulated going forward, and it means that we are going to get sanitized content a lot of the time. And now we're finding out that the payment processor restrictions are hurting other digital platforms because Manga Planet has had to close over it. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, of course, Mastercard and Visa have all said, oh no, we're not trying to hurt your entertainment, we just are trying to protect the children, but we know that that really isn't the case. They don't care about protecting certain people, they care about protecting their brand image and helping their bottom line, and now we're seeing another platform unfairly targeted. So, if you don't know what Manga Planet is, it is an online service that's supposed to make Japanese manga more accessible in English through official licensing, and it is a very good service, but unfortunately now we're not going to have it because they had to announce, due to various circumstances like recent restrictions from payment processors and the changing online landscape, we plan to close Manga Planet's digital service at the end of March 2026. We will shift our focus to our print releases, and our social media accounts will remain active, but for further information, please see the photo below, and it talks about kind of their plans and how they're feeling. It says, thank you very much for supporting Manga Planet since our launch in 2019. Through our digital subscription service and platform, our team has worked to increase legal access to manga in English and ways for artists and publishers to receive support for their work. Over the years, access to manga has evolved, and we are happy to see an increasing number of legal ways for readers to enjoy and support manga. However, due to various circumstances like recent restrictions from payment processors and the changing online landscape, our team has found it difficult to continue. Now, I know there are going to be a lot of people out there who say, well, I'm just going to pirate it, but at the same time, these people were trying to do good, and I don't necessarily think that it's just because of piracy rates and because of the online landscape evolving. I do genuinely believe a major problem here, as they point out, is payment processors. They are cracking down on who can make money, what content you can make money from, and what Manga Planet was doing was really good, trying to increase legal access to manga in English for people. And they say, with saddened hearts, we plan to close Manga Planet's digital service at the end of March 2026. While we no longer operate an independent digital platform, we will shift our focus to print licenses and continue our print releases through our Manga Planet label. And they're saying this, and I hope that that is the case, but if payment processors were putting a lot of pressure on them for what they were doing digitally, I bet they will for print as well, and they will say that there is an issue going forward, which would be so sad to see. Now, of course, it's heartbreaking, in my opinion, to see platforms basically bullied into closing and shuttering their services because payment processors are a little bit bothered by the content they're releasing. Now, Japan was the first really big target for payment processor problems. We even saw one of Ken Akamatsu's platforms have to be shut down over payment processor issues, and certain manga websites and anime sites. So this has been a problem for them for significantly longer, but that doesn't mean that it's any easier to kind of get over. This is really, really sad to see, and I know so many other people are voicing how shitty this is. Fuck the payment processors who are trying to dictate what adults can and cannot consume because they believe, oh, this anime character, well, she looks like she could be under 18, even if the original creator's intention was for them to be older. These payment processors don't really care because, oh, if some nut job could interpret it this way, that means we need to moderate it, as if that's actually the intention behind it. And like I mentioned, Ken Akamatsu's platform had to shut down not even that long ago for this issue. Manga Library Z's digital manga service had shut down. So according to the website and founder/manga creator Ken Akamatsu, Love Hina, the website has issues with credit card companies and a termination of all payment services. And this was back in November 2024. But they did say, months before that, that they were also still having issues. It's just just that by this point, they had to say, unfortunately, enough is enough. After careful consideration of how to rebuild its operations, the company decided to shut down due to payment services being unavailable. It's not like it was illegal content, it's not like it was offensive content, but these payment processors decided, you know what? We are the arbiters of truth and peace and justice in this world. We are the arbiters of content. So what we say goes, and there's unfortunately not a lot of ways to fight back against this, because when one shuts you down, all of them seem to, right? Visa, Mastercard, PayPal, it's like they're all in cahoots, and it's so easy to deplatform certain creators, as we have seen over the years. And I know that a lot of people are going to mention the executive order in the United States, and luckily, US companies are protected to a certain extent, though at the same time, they also have operations outside of the United States, which is the problem that they run into, because while they technically can't be debanked, these certain platforms like Steam, for example, even though they're based in the United States, they could face fines and problems in other countries, which is why they're willing to work with these payment processors, because they don't want to have issues. So they figure, as long as you technically don't deplatform us, we'll cave to your demands, which is terrible, and some of these companies are going to have to grow a backbone sometime. I know GOG has been pretty vocal, which is good, but at the same time, you need all of them to fight back at the same time for it to make like a massive difference. A lot of people are saying things like Visa and Mastercard are garbage. The chilling effect is spreading like a cancer. It will take many years for artists to recover, even if this gets pushed back quickly. This sucks. There are so many titles only on here which will be gone forever. I know that you have physical releases of some series, but have you considered doing digital volume releases too, or putting some of the old Shonen Jump series back on Manga Plus? This is so sad. Should have been doing physical from the start anyway, which they were doing physical, but at the same time, as we know, it is significantly cheaper to put products up online and be able to sell them that way, and be able to sell subscription services over physical goods, especially with how much it is to ship and print and store those items. So this is just a really heartbreaking situation overall, and unfortunately this is not even going to be the last time that we hear of something like this happening. Artists are under attack, creative freedom is under attack, and while we are seeing some platforms be able to fight back, we are talking about behemoth entities like Visa and Mastercard and PayPal, which it's very hard to go against them. You would need someone like an Elon Musk to stand up to them, or even a Steam to put basically all of their money and their fighting power into a battle, which I really don't think that they're willing to do, given they do need these services in order to stay afloat. So I will, of course, be covering more situations like this in the future, I'm sure. But if you were a fan of Manga Planet, now the digital platform is going to be shuttered on March 31st, 2026, due to things like the online landscape changing and pressure from payment processors. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.